this was brought to my attention about 2 days ago. And this is coming out of Portland, where the protests are going crazy. And somebody filmed and photographed the cops using what appears to be pesticide. Again, I'm not the expert here, but let me just show you. I don't know what that is. But that does not look like it belongs in the hands of police during a riot. I don't know. I don't care what they're dispersing, man. I don't care if that's water vapor. That does not look healthy, man. And people pointed out that it looks a lot like something used to disperse pesticide. There's more video here of this thing. And by the way, another really interesting video that I saw, again, I don't think it's connected to this one specifically, but just to show you how brazen they are and absolutely careless. When they threw tear gas on people, they then used a leaf blower to disperse the fumes more evenly so that everyone is gassed. Take a look at this. What is this? What is wrong with these police? What a colossal waste of time and money and energy, and not to mention how morally bankrupt this is. I mean, this is not a police force. This is this is a tyrannical band of thugs. State-sanctioned, cracking of skulls. What is the point of this? And the best part is you pay for it, right? With your tax dollars. What is this? Who needs this? I thought you have something called the First Amendment, right? We keep hearing about this infamous, famed First Amendment. Oh, land of the free. Oh, free speech. Oh, free speech. That's free speech. So apparently when you try to protest, again, which is covered under free speech, you get gas blown in your face with a leaf blower, and then they use pesticide on you. Pesticide. Now, what I read, and again, I'm not an expert, so please feel free to enlighten me about what this thing over here is. I'm rather curious to know what this is. If this is indeed something used for pesticide. Someone who's an expert, I'd love to know. But regardless, I read people online suggesting that the point of this is that if protesters bring gas masks, well, tear gas is not going to affect them. Nothing is going to really work. However, the pesticide can burn your skin. So this is why you'd see people using cling wrap or whatever to cover their skin so it doesn't burn because of this pesticide. I don't know if that's what they've been using it for. I wouldn't be surprised, however, given that your police runs over protesters with their cars in broad daylight and chokes black men to death in broad daylight and cracked a 75-year-old man's skull in broad daylight and use tear gas on you and bash your heads in. And when you try to protest on behalf of the environment and the native tribes against an oil pipeline, under Obama, they did the same thing. They also sent in the army even, right? And the paramilitarized police. So I really would not put it past the police to be using pesticide against you. I really wouldn't. They literally killing black men in the street. So, I mean, this is nothing compared to that. This is a joke. So I would not put it past them at all. But I would, again, I'm not an expert, and there's nothing about this anywhere. I heard no one covering this. So, I'd love to know more from someone who's a bit more acquainted and more familiar with these types of things. But once again, I would not be surprised. And again, I will draw the contrast and remind you that when the so-called Arab Spring started, yes, what a nice name for a CIA op, you would always hear, oh, this regime is so repressive and they're cracking down on protesters, and oh, we have to help them in their fight for freedom, and oh, look at this guy, he's so brutal. They're killing protesters and jailing them, and that was apparently sufficient pretext to get involved in the Middle East once again and supply jihadists, no less, and arm opposition groups because this posed such a threat, right? That's how it started, right? It said, oh, Assad is killing protesters or shooting protesters. We don't know what's going on, right? He's brutalizing, cracking down on protesters. And so all these Western nations got involved. And look, 9 years later, country's destroyed. So I find it quite ironic that the very nation calls itself land of the free and claims to be the world's beacon of democracy and had to get involved in Syria and in other countries all across the Middle East and all across the world in the name of spreading democracy and murdering millions of people in the process, then goes and cracks down and brutalizes none other than protesters. I would laugh at the irony if it weren't tragic. If it weren't so tragic. What is this, man? Did you see any of this shit from Syria? No, you fucking didn't. Did you see any videos coming out of Syria like anywhere near as bad as what you've been seeing the last couple of months in the US? Did you see any cop cars in Syria running over protesters? No, you didn't. Did you see any cops using tear gas on protesters? No, you didn't. Did you see any Syrian police choking someone to death with their knee? No, you didn't. Did you see Syrian police using pesticide on protesters? No, you didn't. Did you see Syrian police beating up cameramen? No, you didn't. This is a million times worse. And the proof is right there. We have proof. Undeniable. There's so much footage, we can't even process all of it. And nothing happens. Yet apparently, you can go and destroy Arab countries without a shred of fucking proof in the name of democracy, even when you don't have democracy yourself.